Yo, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you guys here. Hope you guys have been having a wonderful day. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Global Dokkan. In the last video, I mentioned that I was going to go ahead and do this. Kind of talking about how I feel like the game is on an uprise for Global. I know, I want to go ahead and kind of make a positive video about it. And kind of just talking about how I'm probably going to look at celebrations moving forward. Funny enough, I do think Global is going to be a bit better for the rest of the year. I think we are done with Global being boring. I just want to go ahead and say that right now. I do think that Global is pretty much over with the boring saga. So let's go ahead and jump into all campaigns. By the way, if you guys are new, hit that like and sub button. It definitely goes a long ways. So let's go ahead and talk about the actual campaigns for this year, right? Starting with the, I don't want to talk about New Year's too much. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to talk about New Year's because part 2 was a bit different on Global. So we had it started. You know, we had Jiren come out, which was cool. What did go? And then I think Frieza was here, right? Frieza should have been here. Yeah, Frieza was here. Okay, so let's talk. We'll talk about this one, right? This celebration was pretty good. It wasn't like it was a bit different than how JP had it. Obviously, with the simple banner, it was hype. But unfortunately, Global had that mistake going on with that bug, which we had that huge conversation. So Global started off pretty rough this year. Let's go ahead and be completely honest. It started off pretty harsh. I think that's kind of what painted the road to the negativity that Global Dokkan got after that, from myself, from various other people I've talked to in the community. You know, it created like this bad stigma with Global. It definitely started off pretty harshly, but then it definitely got, it picked up a little bit. And then, you know, New Year's was okay. Besides that, it was an okay celebration. And then during this celebration, we got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? This was during the 6th year anniversary. And, you know, we had a Dokkan event, you had a story event, you had Virtual Clash, New Stage, and then you had an EZA, Dragon Ball History. It was okay. I mean, it was like, I didn't have that many issues with this celebration, and we even had a part 2 for it, which was LR Turles. You had these Extreme Easy area for Frieza, and then you had the Omega Shenron, you know, chain battle, which was not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I didn't hate it by any means. I thought it was okay. But, you know, other than that, that celebration was kind of boring. I mean, especially going through that during the anniversary while everybody's on JP going crazy for MUI, we're kind of like dying out here. Then you had the Bojack banner. This celebration was just kind of boring altogether. It was just the EZA for Gogeta, and I think this is where they pushed back the World Tournament. I'm pretty sure this was it. Yes, postponed due to the, yes, and then you had another issue 2 months later after the New Year's, right? So you had two, like, it was like February was fine, then you get to March, and then March all of a sudden is just blatantly bad. You're just like, wow, what the hell is going on in March, right? So you had this issue going down. So there you have it. Like, you had 2 months pretty almost back to back with really big time issues, and then we didn't get the compensation. That hurt a lot. You know, that hurt a lot of people's morale with Global. Obviously, there was a lot of, you know, a lot of things said, especially from my end. I was not happy with it. You know, you guys know how I am. I speak the truth when I'm not happy. I will not, you know, my truth. It's not like the true truth, because obviously everybody has a different version of that. But for me, anyways, I was not happy with it, so I spoke out a lot on the issues, and that's why I'm making this video, because when I see a game trying, I definitely want to go ahead and note that, right? It's very important to kind of look at that in a more positive light, which Global has been doing well, which right now, we're in March, it's not that great, but it does get better, right? So, then you have the Saiyan Day campaign, pretty much the same as JP. We both got the LR Broly EZA, wasn't that big of a deal. You got the new stages of the, then that was Goku and Gohan, which we were missing. Getting the LR Broly EZA was nice. Getting the chain battle, whatever, you know, it's there. And then this was another big moment. This celebration right here was garbage when we first saw it, right? We're all like, what the hell is going on? It was just an EZA Janemba. It was just, you know, it was just barely anything, right? We didn't get any ESPR. We got an Ultimate Clash, a new story event, the Dokkan events, and then EZA Janemba, and that was it. And we're all like, yo, it was horrible. But then they did a part 2 a couple weeks later, and you know, that's when we kind of like, it was this celebration when we really saw them kind of like, I feel like more than ever, see how they do things, which I still think is not the greatest, but obviously keeping it in the back of my mind whenever I look at a Global celebration. They're a lot crazier with throwing part 2s out everywhere instead of throwing everything in one notice. So obviously We had the Vegeta and Rose banner. We had the easy for Goku Vegeta, which is what I wanted. We had the chain battle, which was great. They had the world tournament that we were missing, so we got the world tournament there. So it wasn't, to me, the celebration was fine after we got to part 2. But so global, what they've been doing is that they try extending content weirdly. I'm still not a big fan of that. Like, I think, look, I know some people have said, oh, it's good to have a part 2, but I feel like generally you don't need to throw that part 2 everywhere. I feel like it's okay just to be like, you know, more around the idea of just throwing it in all into one news, so that way we could see everything that's coming forward instead of having this weirdness of, oh, here's part 1, is there a part 2 coming, and it's stuff like that. I feel like Double does a lot of part 2s generally, so I would feel like it would be a bit better if they just show everything in one notice instead of giving us 2 notices. I think that would just ultimately be better, and I think that would kind of help us ease into certain things. Like, obviously now when I see an update now, till they fix that, obviously, because I'm sure at some point they will fix it, or maybe who cares? I mean, they might not. Just moving forward, every news video I make right when there's news, I'll probably be more like, well, let's wait for part 2, because part 2 will probably bring in the other content, right? So that's ultimately how I'm seeing how Global's trying to be ran. It's going to be a lot more part 2s. I'm not crazy about it. I'd rather them show it in one notice, but hey, it's fine. So this was a big instance, and then you had this campaign, right? This campaign was the bearer of bad news. We were all like, what the hell is happening on Global? Because we got the 10 stages of ESPR, we got Dragon Ball History, and Ultimate Clash. And we had none of the EZAs. This was added in later on, funny enough. This wasn't there when we originally hopped in and took a look. So they added that in later. And then I feel like a lot of the backlash, like, look, all of us on Twitter, like Gresh, we're all on their Twitter account being like, yo, what the hell is happening here, right? So for me, at least, I'm like, why don't we go a different route with this and they just show everything in one notice? Because guess what? A couple days later, well, more like a week later, we get the Goku Day campaign, and you know, we get this MGT, we get the ticket summons, which the GT stuff is fine. I mean, they didn't show that on JP either. But chain battle, the EZA for LRB Pan, the EZAs for all the units, Giru, and all the other EZAs were included into the celebration. They're just shown at a later date. So maybe moving forward, just throw it in the same notice. I mean, it's a bit different because this, like, it's a Goku, the Goku Day celebration. So I understand it's a bit different, right? Obviously, it's a bit different here, but for certain other situations like the PyCon and Janemba banners, they could definitely change it up a bit. But obviously here, it's a big step. It's a huge step. That means, you know, in a couple months, instead of not getting all the information, I mean, all the, you know, getting all the content up front, it's going to be more like, hey, you know, you guys are going to get it slowly, and it's just going to be a couple weeks apart, which again, I feel like that's okay, because I know some people like the pacing of that, because again, you don't get everything at once, you get everything periodically throughout the couple weeks, which is okay. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, because we get content basically every week here. So like, if you take a look at the celebration, basically I think how they did it was the LRB Pen EZA starts on the 23rd, and then the EZAs for these guys are on the 19th, the Explosive Chain Battles on the 16th, and you know, they have a piece of content basically every week, like the Super Saiyan 4s are coming out, we just got the GT, so every week we have a new piece of content, which I think is fine, but they should do just again, for future reference, I believe they should just do a giant notice, basically do one giant notice. Here's a bit different because it's the Goku Day stuff, so I understand that, but moving forward, like Goten and Trunks, for example, when Goten and Trunks comes out, you know, it would be nice for them to basically just show everything. Like, look, if we're gonna be getting you know, a part 2, just show the content. You don't have to show the banner, like, you don't have to. We'll probably get LR Tapion next month, but they should at least show the news, so that way we know all the content that's coming, right? I just want to say that right there. I definitely feel like having all the content would be very beneficial for us, and I think it would definitely help out a lot more in the long run. Personally, I feel like it would help a lot more backlash. It would help a lot with that first day, oh crap, what the hell is going on? So that's just kind of like my thoughts on the matter. I definitely feel like they could just do that. But other than that, I feel like Global is doing really well right now. And hopefully the rest of the year, we are done with all the dead Global weeks, because obviously all the celebrations that we're missing is like what, Videl, Goten and Trunks, LR Tapion, which are all pretty pretty decent celebrations if you guys watched the JP video. So I definitely feel like Global is on a good trend right now, and hopefully we will continue to push that trend and that agenda, and they'll continue to listen. I feel like this was definitely a big listening, and I definitely just feel very confident in saying, Global, good job. Seriously, great job. You guys have been doing a phenomenal job, and hopefully this continues on for the rest of the year and we don't have any more issues. So that's it for me, everybody. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe for more content. Just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.